It's okay to let go. You're not alone. Stand your ground, take it slow. The way you've been shown, trust yourself, you to get through. Now you're on the other side, living life again. It was a wild ride out of the rain into the sun. Look, you've won. Ooh, it's
Okay, I think you guys can both see me and this screen, so I just have to maximize. I think that's it. I think you just see me now. Can you hear me, guys? I'm just going to wait for some thumbs up or something, some acknowledgement. Yay! Excellent. Hi, guys. So welcome to my channel, Wounds to Wisdom. I'm Teresa. Thank you so much for being here. So a couple little housekeeping things. Firstly, I'm still navigating YouTube and then reading the comments. And so I have a different computer screen to read the comments. So if I'm turning my head to the right, that just means I'm reading comments. I'm not going to be able to do both well. I don't have a moderator yet for my channel. And so just have patience with me. I'm navigating some of the excitement here. And so I also don't necessarily do a roll call. I'll see you, and because I'm small right now, I'm pretty much going to be able to see most everyone that's in the chat. For those of you behind the scenes, that's perfectly fine. I would like to encourage you, though, please, to subscribe to the channel, like the video. It's free, doesn't cost a thing, and just want to be able to grow the channel organically and through the support of all of you. So tonight, this channel is about raising our vibration, right? It's about positivity and healing. It's about tapping into our inner divine. And so what I set the channel for tonight, listening to the power of our voice, your voice, my voice. How do we focus on the words of healing? And so we're going to talk a little bit about that tonight. Before I dive in, Tuesday is January 28th, and it is my rebirth birthday. And I'm going to share with you my heart event journey that led to me not being alive for 15 minutes, really 14 if I'm going to be exact. And the journey and things that I experienced as a result of that and how I came out the other end, but what it really means for me. And so it's sort of a celebratory thing. It's been 6 years. I almost said 5, but it's really been 6 years. I don't know where the time has gone. And then that following Thursday, I'm going to be doing a meditation, a healing meditation. The healing meditation is to heal yourself of an illness, not feeling well, emotional, spiritual, whatever. From that healing perspective, that's where we're going to focus our energies. And I'll send this out next week, but you'll need to be in a place that you can recline, that you can relax, because I'll spend a good 10-15 minutes focusing in on relaxing the body before I actually dive into the guided meditation. All right, excuse me while I wiggle myself under the blankets. It's rather chilly here in New England. Thank you, Christy, for being here. So tonight we're going to talk about listening to the voice, but previously my focus has been to talk about the 12 universal laws, right, of the whole universe. And for the month of January, the focus is on divine oneness. What the hell does divine oneness mean? Really, it's just that everything is interconnected. The words that we speak are interconnected, whether it's to ourselves or we're speaking to another or we're shouting out into the universe. Everything gives off energy. Everything gives off a vibration. And if we're constantly echoing negative, then how are we to grow? How are we to blossom? Because we're always sort of peeing rain down on ourselves, if you will. So as we think about the words that we speak, especially to ourselves, those words are powerful. They can affect your mood, your day, everything, right? So words can impact your entire day, your entire month, a moment in time. The difference between me getting up in the morning going, "Ugh, you stupid, ugly bitch," versus, "Good morning, sunshine. So nice to see your smiling face today." Now, it might be difficult because we've been trained throughout our lives to hear the negative voice. How many people have focused in on the one negative? You could have 99 people that say you are a beautiful person. We love your channel. You're terrific. And then we get that one voice that says, it was okay. You're okay. You're not that pretty. And that's the voice that stays with us. Well, that's what we do with our own inner voice. We take that negative feeling, we take that negative vibration, and we sit and we echo with it all day long. So what does it mean to choose your words impeccably? Right? So we can raise our own vibration or we can diminish it. We can raise another person up and make them feel fantastic, or we can crush them like a bug. Speaking with integrity, with honesty, with truthfulness is what we mean when we say we're speaking impeccably. Words matter. Words have power. And this is really coming from The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. And I would really like us at some point to take a vote and see if anybody else wants to discuss that book. I love it. The Four Agreements really hone in on our way of being better humans. So by us speaking truthfully, speak and say what you want to have happen. What do you desire? I desire a successful YouTube channel. Okay, great. Let's go beyond that. I desire a successful YouTube channel with 500 subscribers by December 31st, 2025. Wow. Versus, no one's ever going to watch this channel. I'm not even going to get 20 views. Okay. Right? Isn't that the way that we sort of squash our inner cheerleader? Bring it out. I'm going to accomplish this. And by using your own words, they're healing. Yes, I might have a headache, but I don't want to bemoan the fact that I have a headache all day long. I have a headache. I'm going to take those aspirins and I'm going to feel better. Now, I'm not a Pollyanna completely. If you have a migraine, you're probably going to need to lay down, put a pillow over your eyes, maybe a wet washcloth or an ice pad on your neck or something. The point is, we have the power of our words to make or break that day, that moment, that time. So when my mom was going through cancer treatments, and she would be getting her chemo, there was one or two other people there. And I forget the lady's name. Gosh, I wish I could remember it. It's just popping into my head now. She would be like, and I use this example now. She's like, yep, the Pac-Man chemo is going in and eating all the bad shit. Of course, it's eating all the good shit, but it's eating all the bad shit. And she goes, and I just want to visualize that Pac-Man chop, eating all the bad stuff. It's how she was able to get through what she was going through, which was incredibly difficult. And I think that, using our words and speaking, hey, Brazy, oh, I'm so happy you're here. By speaking clearly the words that you want to affect change in your life, only you can do that. I have this group of friends, wicked funny. These gals, at least they rock my world. They make me laugh. They tell it like it is. And so we could make or break somebody with words. And one of the things that I learned over the years is there's a difference. Like we call it kibitzing. We gossip, but it's really about each other. And it's gossip maybe within the external world of, let's say, movies or TVs or Hollywood or something. There's no cruelty in that gossip. Fast forward to being in a work environment where you're gossiping about your colleagues. You're talking about them behind their back. Let's stop here for a second, right? When we talk about other people, especially in a small setting, that's really a reflection of you. That's not a reflection of them. If we disrespect each other, instead of raising them up by saying, did you see what Sally Mae wore today? God, she looks fat as hell. Yeah, that's not a reflection of Sally Mae. That's a reflection of yourself. And those are not words that raise you up. Those are words that belittle you. And I'm guilty of this. So I'm using me as the example that I wanted to change that, because it's easy when you're in a group of people and everybody's sort of talking trash about somebody else. I don't want to be that person. I never wanted to be that person, but I wanted to fit in. And that's a poor excuse anyway. Raising each other up, building each other up, building ourselves up, we can be the voice that affects change in our community, in our family, in our world, with our girlfriends, our guy friends. Hi, Jimena. Thank you for being here. So I think that you know, collectively, we can think about the power of our own voice, and it can give rise to ourselves for confidence. I'm not confident with YouTube. This is my third or fourth time doing this, and it was my first time with an intro. And I had a great cheerleader in the background, but I was very anxious. Initially, my thought earlier in the day was, you are so stupid. Why can't you figure this out? And then I thought, my words, stop. If you don't know, you don't know. If you've never done it, you don't know. So learn, and you'll know for next time. And that's what I want to encourage us. We may be new, whether it's on YouTube or we're blogging or we're writing a novel or we're doing tarot or we're doing astrology or anything else in the world. You only get better with time and with experience. So build yourself up and allow those positive voices that have faith in you to raise you. If there are negative voices, it's a reflection of them. And that's one of the things that on this channel, we're only about healing. We're only about love and light. And I know it may sound a little whooshy and woo-woo and, Pollyanna. Good. I'm glad. I want it to be that way. I was saying to someone this past week that I don't want to look at people and think they're automatic liars. I want to look at people and believe in them and trust in them. Now, that doesn't mean I'm going to open up my checkbook and write a blank check. But, one of the things that is important here with us in this small little community of YouTube is if we really champion each other, then we build the trust. We like each other. And if anybody pops onto the channel and says, she's not really my cup of tea, just like the TV clicker, you change the damn channel. Move on. There's no rule that says you have to stay here and watch and listen. No one's holding you hostage. But don't turn around and then say, you don't want to go to Teresa's channel. She's got all that woo-woo crap and she's talking love and light. And that's a reflection of you, right? That's a reflection of your negative voice. You can go to anybody's channel, and if it doesn't resonate with you, the beauty is you get to move on. But those that are attending, it means something to them, and we're building it. So let's build each other. Let's raise each other. So by using the power of our words, we can affect change. I mean, for God's sakes, politicians get elected by their power of their words. Imagine what we could do with the power of positive words, with the power of our love and light, with healing, with forgiveness. Thank you guys. You're my heroes in the chat tonight. Thank you so much. I've really given this a lot of thought because when we speak negatively, we really do pee on the universe. And I don't want to be changing the color of snow from white to yellow, right? I want to be the one who can inspire somebody else to go over there and say, I can have a YouTube channel. I love talking about coffee. I want to talk about dark roast. I want to talk about light roast. I want to talk about hazelnut. I want to talk about French vanilla. I love coffee. P.S. I don't know if there's a channel that does that, but you know what I mean, right? It's like, and I want to be there as a friend to support you. Now, once you develop a following, it may not be my my cup of coffee. So I might change the channel. That doesn't mean I'm going to say, oh, for God's sake, she has a channel on coffee, right? That's negative. And that negative feedback, that negative verbalization to other people says more about you than it does about the person who's talking about coffee. So right now it's a tough time for a lot of people. I'm going to speak about me because it's my story. I don't want to talk about someone else's story. But I love me some hot French vanilla, but I am a hazelnut girl, Brazy. And just to go off the side limit, nobody was more disappointed at Walmart and whomever when they took away the Coffee Mate Kahlua flavor. I was seriously bummed out. All right, back to the topic at hand. So my whole life, I always hung out with the adults. I have this thing for elders. I have this thing for seniors. They have wisdom. My Nana, God bless her, had stories to tell. And she really did have pearls of wisdom. She was 4'11" on a good day. Stocky little Italian lady. She always wore an apron or a mapine, a dish towel she'd put over her because her boobs always got dirty, either wet from doing the dishes or when she was cooking, she'd just brush it on her chest. And she just had those one-off pearls of wisdom. Grew up dirt poor in the Bronx, in New York. She was born in 1909. She saw it all, right? She saw World War I, World War II, the Korean War, Vietnam. She saw the advent of TV, really, and radio, the telephone. Though the telephone existed, they didn't really have one in their tenement. So over time they did. Over time they had a radio. Over time they had a black and white TV. Over time she had a color TV. She really watched the birth of America in a lot of ways, right? Obviously, I had aunties and uncles and my mom, my dad. They're the elder generation. And I'm losing that elder generation. It's one of the things I'm struggling with the most recently. And I have to keep myself in check. When my mom passed, and this will sort of be part of a topic on Tuesday when we celebrate my rebirth, but I crumbled. I think what I focus in on today, as people pass, and they're supposed to, right? There's only one end to our day, to our life, rather. It's death. It's not like someone's going to come and bite my neck and I'm going to be a vampire and live. P.S. Any vampires watching, please don't bite my neck. I truly don't want eternal life. No. I'm ready to go. Hi, Lindsay. Nice to see you. Thank you for being here. And everybody else behind the scenes, thank you for being here. So the point is, as we navigate the elders passing and moving on, well, I don't have elders anymore. That makes me the elder. That makes me the wise one. How can you be a wise one when you're always talking smack? When what comes out of your mouth is not uplifting and raising the vibration of someone else. Now, if my brother was here, and I'm pretty sure he's not, sometimes he and I chat. I have two brothers, but we'll talk smack because there are people in our lives that don't always, I want to think about the right words. Sometimes when you're not included in familial events, you talk a little smack. And for me now, it's really, I'm behaving like the little girl no one wanted to play with, right? That's not who I want to be. It doesn't mean I want to sign over my life savings, but I don't want to be the person that isn't raising up my conversation. And yes, there are people in my life that I wouldn't choose. I think you've heard you can choose your friends, you can't choose your family. Um, and I think that's a lot of people have difficult families. Amen and hallelujah. Um, Not everybody is going to bring love and light into your house, into your heart, into your family circle, whether it's immediate or extended. And yeah, you can grumble and gripe. I want my focus, and this is a practice. It's not natural to me, to raise up the conversation, to change the words, because if someone's not responding to me, am I doing something that is not opening the door for a response back, and especially in a positive way? And I have to really think about this because we become the elder generation. We become the wise ones, right? I loved sitting at the feet of my elders. They had great stories. I have some awesome stories. I have some tragic stories. Probably not going to share those. But at the end of the day, I want my legacy. I want my legacy to be she was a good person and she always had something nice to say about somebody. I don't want to sit around and talk trash about other people in this world of YouTube, of other creators. I don't want to talk trash about really anybody because we're in a tough world. 2025, 2026, we're in for a roller coaster on multiple levels. And how we respond as individuals by using our words can shape the trajectory of our inner circles. What if each one of us said something nice every day to one person? Couldn't that spill across? They then take it on and so on and so on and so on. I used to love, what do they call that? Pay it forward. And not too long ago, I was in Dunkin' Donuts line, and I don't really go very often. Things are a little tight in the pocket these days, but I was on my way to visit someone. It was going to be a long drive, so the dogs and I stopped at Dunkin' Donuts. They got their 2 donuts, which they did not eat, and they forced me to eat them. I know. They're loving. But the guy in front of me, or the person in front of me, but I think it was a guy, paid for my coffee and my donuts. Wow, what an impact. So I only had my $5. So I said to the girl, I said, "Oh my God, no one's ever done that for me in my whole life. Would you please put this towards the person behind me?" And she just looked at me like, what the hell's happening here? Can you imagine if each of us did one small thing to either pay it forward or bring that light and love to somebody else or pay somebody a compliment? I know a couple of videos ago, I talked about this lady that I always see at Walmart. She's really a down in her luck kind of gal. She works there. She carries the weight of the world on her shoulders. I don't know her story. I don't care to know her story. But, I think most of us know the Winnie the Pooh story. She's like Eeyore. The sun's out. It's beautiful. Okay, the sun's out, but I can't see because the glare. And it's like my mission to make her smile. So I always make it a point if I see her to say one nice thing to her. I hope that she takes that and sort of hugs it, right? I mean, I don't know a lot of you. Hi, Millie. Thanks for being here. But I see you on other channels. Some I see on the channel, having a channel, and I love, the personalities, and I get a chuckle. So, can you imagine each of us supporting each other, saying something kind, and how that can influence them, maybe continuing and going on to the next and the next and the next? So, using our words is really powerful. But it's not just our using our words, it's our own voice. What do you have to say? What's your voice saying? And so some days my voice has a potty mouth. Some days my voice is not all sunshine and roses. Some days my voice is downright horrible, and it's all directed at me. Now, you can talk from a therapy perspective. Yep, those are the voices that I heard as a child. Those are the voices that, influenced me. I'm 61. I'm not a child anymore. I'm still a little girl. I'm still someone's daughter. But that can't be my excuse. So my voice has to matter. What I say to myself and about myself has to matter. For a long time, I've had a lot of health problems. And I would say, I'm trying to think about how long ago that was. I'm going to go back 30 years because I'm 61. So in my 30s, I had to have a total hysterectomy because of endometriosis and some fibroid tumors. Now, I suffered tremendously, and I'm not going to get into all that detail, but there was a part of me that wanted attention and used my voice because I was miserable and I wanted to feel loved and comforted and attended to. Should have been doing that for myself. I didn't have the tools. I'm not going to beat myself up about it. But what I would encourage is, as we speak our own voice to ourselves, we have to raise ourselves up. We have to comfort ourselves. We have to support ourselves. And in doing so, we then support others. Hey, Shannon, nice to see you. So it's so important, the voice that we have, again, to raise each other up, to raise ourselves up, to influence the direction of people around us. If we're in a crowd and people are talking smack about somebody, you have the power to say, you know what, I'm not cool with this conversation. How about let's give some love to that person and support them because maybe they're having a bad day and they just need a little word hug. We all need a word hug. Some of us need it more often than others. And if I had some family and friends, they would probably say Teresa needs a lot of word hugs. It's a validation. It makes me feel better. It makes me feel less lonely. It makes me feel less alone. One of the greatest things I ever did for myself was get a pet. When my mom was dying, there was a stray. We knew where the cat who had it, and his name was Spike. And I would sit out my kitchen door on the stoop, and Spike would come by. And I didn't have any cat food, so one day I picked up some cat treats, put some out for the cat. And when my mom died, my brother, sort of helped me groom this cat a little bit because he was feral. And then on the porch, I built a whole little cat box thing for him because I was so afraid he was going to be cold in the winter. By November, that damn cat had moved into my house. Okay. So that was my first adult pet. Spike kept me going after the death of my mother. That's the point. There was love that came into my house. When I didn't want to breathe every day, Spike gave me a reason to breathe. And he died 6 months to the freaking day of my mother's death. And I was told immediately to get another pet because there was no way I was going to be able to get through each day without something to live for. And so I got myself Sweet Pea, another beautiful little kitty cat. When she passed, I crumbled, but I got myself Marley, and Marley was another kitty cat. Finding ways to feel loved is critical for most of us. We don't always get it from humans. Sometimes the humans in our lives are not the ones that build us up. They are, Millie, 100%. They give us this attention. I've got one sitting right next to me. I don't know if you can see this little fuzz ball here. He's snoring like a trucker. And nothing brings me more love and enjoyment than him snoring up a storm. The other one's on the ottoman by the window. He was very astute, checking out all the dogs passing by, and he's been quiet. So I'm assuming he's sleeping. Thank God, because I don't need them barking right now. But that love can fill up your heart. Why can't we do that for each other? Is that too corny? Is that too Pollyanna? And for those of you that don't know, Pollyanna was a movie in the 1950s. I think it was the 50s. And yeah, it's just there. How can we raise each other up? And so think about your voice. Think about the voice that's in your head that pays you a compliment or doesn't pay you a compliment. And what is it that you're really sort of negative about? And then where did that voice come from? Is it a familial voice? Is it what you grew up with? Is it your own over time? Is it a companion in your life that put a voice in your head that you listen to? And I would challenge you to change it. So the day that you feel like, I look like crap, change that. I look gorgeous. I probably could use a little mascara. Let me go put some mascara on. Or I really like this blouse. I should wear this blouse. It makes me look nice, or it makes me feel good. And this is a challenge for all of us. This is a challenge for me. This is a challenge for you. But again, don't underestimate sharing with somebody that you encounter every day with one kind word. Gosh, where'd you get your nails done? They're so beautiful. I love your hair. Did you do your braid yourself? There's this person. I don't know the proper etiquette anymore. So if you're young in this chat, don't hold this against me. It's a person transitioning. I don't know if it's a he, she, he, they, them, but it is someone that is clearly undergoing an alteration. And every single time I end up on this cash registers, this guy's, girl's, person's register, I've seen what people have, sort of glared at them. And it's obvious. So it's a outrageous. I think it's amazing, but it's outrageous. And I make it a point every single time to point out something positive. I love what you did with your eyeliner. I wish I had the patience to do that. Can you imagine by saying something nice to this person that may be getting a handful of negative looks? And trust me, I live very rural. Let's just say that sometimes open-mindedness is not a common trait. One person's kind word can do to somebody. And I think that that's so important. So as we think about the universal law of divine oneness, and that everything is interconnected, everyone is interconnected, everything we breathe, the stones on the earth and in the earth, the trees, everything is connected and communicates. If we can show kindness and we can show respect and we can raise up and support each other, what an awesome thing. And so within this channel, that is my goal. It might be a little too Pollyanna, and that's okay. I really have felt the urge that I needed this. I need that community. I need that connection. I need to know that, my experiences aren't going to fade off into the sunset without somehow contributing knowledge that I've learned along the way. I mean, I think we all have a story. I'm going to scratch that. I know we all have a story. We all have something valid to say. We all have a purpose. And so over the next coming weeks, one of my missions, and I only have one more week. I can't believe January's almost over. So next week, we'll continue to bring in the divine oneness before we go to the second universal law. February, we're going to focus in on heart health, and that gets kicked off this coming Tuesday, February 28th, when we talk about my heart event and the rebirth of being reborn and my birthday, my new birthday, and how dying changed my perspective and changed my voice and changed my heart and brought my spirit back to life. Let me preface this by saying I don't recommend dying in order to sort of rejuvenate or resuscitate your spirit. It took a little bit to get myself back. And one of the lessons and the reasons I beat myself up is I'm slower to grasp concepts. I still get it, but it takes me a little bit longer. I struggle with sometimes finding my words. Math, for sure. I've screwed up my checkbook more than once. And let me just share with you that I would make a trucker blush with the vocabulary that comes out of my mouth every month when I have to do my checkbook. And I'm like, how did I do this? Now I change the words and I'm like, okay, how can we do better, Teresa? How can we fix this budget so that you don't put yourself into financial jeopardy? Instead of calling me, a stupid, no good idiot and other more colorful adjectives. Bye, Shannon. Thanks for coming. So I struggle. So I want to talk about heart health because this heart event, I don't know if it really could have been avoided, but I think it could have been avoided. And I'll share that story on Tuesday. But then we go right into February, right, with Heart Health Month. And women we have the highest number of heart attacks. Mine was called a widowmaker, and the fact that I survived is a miracle in my mind. So I think that by all of us being aware that, again, words matter, because my spirit was broken after my mom died. My soul was broken and my heart was broken because I didn't just have SCAD, which is spontaneous coronary artery dissection. I had Takotsubo cardiomyopathy, which is really called broken heart syndrome. And so, a lot of this was impacted and affected by the loss of my job, my self-worth, my lack of purpose, a whole host of things, feeling abandoned and orphaned and ignored and angry and scared. I was scared. And so I'll talk a little bit about that on Tuesday, the 28th. And then I think Let me just look. I think it's the 30th. Well, it would make sense. Thursday the 30th. See, I'm getting better with my numbers. 2 days after 28 is 30. I'm going to do a meditation that night. So it's going to be a guided meditation. So be in a comfortable space. I'll send out, I'm going to talk to some of my friends here on YouTube, but I think in the description, I'll put what's required. And mainly what's required is just finding a comfortable space so that you can recline back. And the way that I do guided meditations is by working on getting the body into a relaxed, deep state first. And then I go into this guided meditation. And the guided meditation's on healing the physical body, the spirit, the soul, the mind, whatever feels like it needs a little bit of healing, that's what we're going to work on. And so it won't take the full hour because I'm aware that YouTube, after an hour of your video, it kind of turns it off. So I'm really, really, really going to be focusing on that and focusing in on, and I just saw something. Was it Millie? Yeah, it's really, we're going to fulfill ourselves. And I want this community to raise each other up as if we were all sitting at, a table having coffee or wine or chatting together. And I hope as time goes on, I'd love to have invite some folks on and sort of do a coffee talk. It'll be specific to a topic. And, let's see if we can do that and sort of raise each other up. And I hope to have a Zoom, because I don't think I can do this on YouTube. But, I'm a certified hypnotherapist as well as a Reiki practitioner. And so I incorporate a lot of that into healing, healing the body, healing the mind, healing the spirit, and sort of stopping the traffic of your body so that all of the healing can take place. And there are some really great channels that I've been participating in that do various meditations. So Jimena on The Magic of Healing has a meditation. Truth Wave, he has Victor. He does it differently, and I really like what he does. But you have to check out these channels. I haven't figured out yet how to put everybody's channels into the chat, so you're just going to have to bear with me. I give myself another month, and I will be a whiz. But I think if we can raise each other up, and look, we can be a bunch of friends chatting. My purpose here isn't really to generate revenue. I mean, I'm on a fixed income. I can't work anymore. But it's really about building community and friendships. And so I know I can be a good friend because I have been a good friend. There are days where I don't feel like I'm as great a friend as I could be. And that's when that voice comes in and I'm like, okay, why are you saying that? Because I can't visit with people on a regular basis. That doesn't make me a bad friend. And sorry, I'm readjusting here. People that are my friends know I hate to drive. Most of my friends are far away. They're not next door. So this is a way for me to communicate and to build a community because I was becoming very insulated and very isolated and very introverted. And I have a lot of my dad's personality as an extrovert, and that seems to be dissipating over time because after my heart event, we went right into COVID. Right after COVID, I spent a year, 2 years really trying to get my ejection fracture up and trying to find my place in the world and trying to find my friends and my community and what's my purpose. And so it's all been a major journey. And I really want to see how we can grow each other. And Amber, actually, I just see Amber Ascends in here. She also has a channel. And I followed her. She had a sound bowl, singing bowl. And I really appreciated that. I listened to it yesterday or today. Gosh, I don't even remember now. But I have a whole host of singing bowls when I was going to open up my Reiki studio, and that didn't come to fruition. And it's funny, when I was listening to her with her singing bowls, this calm came in, this wave of like melodic heaven. So, highly recommend that. Um, and I think finding our voice in our community can really elevate us, elevate our spirits. And I look forward to that. And I hope that this over time, um, becomes not just educational and informational, but interactive. And I love sort of going through some of the chat and seeing that some folks have been chatting. So I'm going to take a minute before we end and just go through and see if I can highlight anybody else. But thank you, Breezy. You guys. So you all have raised my spirits because there's a lot of positive feedback here, and it means the world to me. So let's see. I'm going to go to the top and just sort of scroll down. You guys. So shout out to Conversations with Christy. She's been another champion of mine. And if you want to be uplifted, you should go to her channel. We have a lot of fun there. I laugh a lot on her channel. Let's see. Just scrolling through, and I'm seeing Lindsay. Yes, I know I acknowledged some of you guys, but yeah. So I think we all are talking a little bit about raising each other up. This sounds like a really amazing community that we can build, and we can support each other. So I'm not going to go through every single one of these right now because we are encroaching upon the end. I know that there were other channels tonight around this time. I'm really trying to find a time that works well. But later than 7 p.m. for me on the East Coast, I don't function very well after 8 o'clock at night. And during the day, I think that people, you have jobs, a lot of you have other commitments, and there's so many other channels that are happening. So I have to find a rhythm. My hope is for Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays to kick off. Sundays, I want to just be almost like, so I don't want to be exclusionary and say girl talk. So any fellas that are listening, you are absolutely included. But I think I want it to be a little bit lighter and more interactive. So that's where I was kind of thinking Zoom, but maybe I just invite some folks onto the channel and we pick a topic and discuss. That sounds very Saturday Night Live. And Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'll be focusing in on one of the universal laws and then incorporating these guided meditations, and depending on the feedback, positive feedback, constructive feedback, always welcome. A way for us to tap into different areas. I'm also going to be talking about the really tough ones. I'll talk about SA. I will talk about grief because that's what shaped me. I'm going to talk about self-confidence and some, choices that I made along the way that, though I've grown from them and through them, gosh, if somebody else could avoid doing them, I would really love to encourage people, not to make those same mistakes. And I really want to encourage people to listen to their inner voice. If something tells you it's not right, listen to your voice. Don't ignore it, please. Because I think we put ourselves in really bad positions when we don't listen to our inner voice. So we'll speak about that a little bit more in the future as well. So having said that, I haven't figured out, I don't think I uploaded my outro yet. I hope you like the intro. It was a gift of love that was given to me. And on Tuesday, I'll have my outro ready and queued up to go, but I don't think that I'm ready to do that tonight. So, you guys, as always, I want to send you all with many blessings of love, of light, of healing, sprinkled with a little bit of laughter, a little bit of joy, and a whole bunch of gratitude. Thank you so much for being here. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, please do so. And until next time, many blessings.